What is going on, college basketball fans? And today we have some humongous news. John Calipari is no longer the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. He has taken the Arkansas job that was left open by Eric Musselman, that took the job at USC that was left over by Andy Enfield, who left for SMU. So this all started a domino effect from Andy Enfield leaving USC to get the SMU job. Like, how insane this is. And to be honest, this was a huge shock, no doubt about it, but it does make a lot of sense. Kentucky fans have been, having their grapes with John Calipari for a couple years now, quite some time, because Kentucky is a blue blood, of course, in college basketball. They expect to not only make Final Fours, but win championships. That is their expectation. And Kentucky is, not a state that has a professional team, but they are a huge, huge basketball state who loves their Wildcats. Louisville is also, a major basketball school as well. There in Kentucky, they're a huge basketball state, and Kentucky expects to compete. And John Calipari has, came out and said, over and over again, he doesn't necessarily care about winning championships. He cares about getting these high-level recruits out of high school, developing them, and getting players into the NBA, and helping young people, just kind of achieve their dreams, which is an awesome thing to do that I think he is going to be able to do at Arkansas, where they are still going to have, consistently talented teams, these top recruits, top NBA draft prospects, but, it's going to be a similar thing. They're going to be competing, they're going to be winning games, but are they going to have much success in the NCAA tournament? Maybe sometimes, but, not consistently. And I think that's what he's going to do at Arkansas. I think that he can do that at Arkansas. Eric Musselman has shown that you can get some high recruits to go to Fayetteville. John Calipari, wherever he's going to bring in the recruits 100%. And for Kentucky, now they can bring in a head coach that, can try to win them games. That is what they're going to try to get in. They want a head coach who is going to want to win and compete for national championships year in and year out. And I think that, yes, John Calipari left to take the Arkansas job, but I think this was a mutual agreement. I think Kentucky was looking for their next guy, and we're going to talk about who are some of the leading candidates right now for the Kentucky job and who I would say is in the lead to get it right now. Of course, this is all brand new news, so I'm not sure exactly, but I am going to make my best prediction. But real quick, Arkansas fans, how do you guys feel about the John Calipari hire? I mean, are you guys happy that Eric Musselman left now, that because you get Calipari? What are you guys' thoughts about it? I think it is going to be a awesome place for him to be able to help these young, talented players achieve their dreams, get to the NBA, and also compete. Arkansas is going to be able to compete year in and year out. When it comes to March Madness, we'll see. But let me know what you guys think about the hire, Arkansas fans. Now, for the Kentucky fans, let's talk about some of these head coaching candidates. So, first off, the one that I've been seeing out there, a ton is Nate Oates. Nate Oates just took Alabama to the Final Four. They're in conference in the SEC. And yeah, his name has been buzzing around a lot. But right before I started recording this video, Nate Oates was actually my pick to where I thought that he was going to be the next head coach of Kentucky. I thought, the job, the money there was going to be too much to pass up. But he actually tweeted on Twitter a whole message saying, disregard everything you're seeing. Don't listen to the rumors. He's staying at Alabama. Basically, in a nutshell, that is what he said on Twitter. So Nate Oates is, according to him, out on the Kentucky job. Now, we have seen in the past coaches have come out and said stuff like this, especially in interviews, and then still taken a new job, but I don't necessarily think they've came out with a whole Twitter, description, letting the fans know that they are staying. So I think Nate Oates is out as of now. The other big one that I have been hearing is Dan Hurley. He is playing in the national championship game tonight as I am recording this video. And if he wins, they're going to be back-to-back national champions at UConn. Now, I do think that Hurley is going to stay at UConn. I think he's in a great situation where he has no reason to leave. And you may say, well, the Kentucky money is there. I think UConn no matter what the number is, they will match Kentucky's offer. They will keep him in UConn. I don't think Dan Hurley is going anywhere. So for me, I think, Kentucky, definitely make that call. Try to get him, because if you can, that is a absolute home run hire. That is the best possible guy you can get. But I don't think it's going to happen. So for me personally, as far as who I think is going to be there, I think Dan Hurley is staying in UConn. Next one, and this is where we kind of get to this could possibly happen. I thought Nate Oates was going to be my pick, but right before I started recording this, he threw me a curveball, said he's staying at Alabama. Now, the next couple of these guys I think could possibly take this job. This one, Scott Drew. Scott Drew from Baylor. I don't know if it makes sense, because Scott Drew has built this Baylor program from the ground up and won a national championship at Baylor. I mean, he built that entire program, and he is still, pulling in recruits, especially at the guard position. He's able to get transfer portal talent to come to Waco, Texas. I don't think Scott Drew is going anywhere either, but I do think that there is a non-zero chance that he could become the Kentucky head coach next season. There's one more that I have to talk about that I think is somewhat unrealistic, but I think there is a non-zero chance that he could take it, and that is Mark Few. Mark Few, the head coach of Gonzaga. Again, he built that Gonzaga program from the ground up. They've been competing for national championships. They were one game away, beating Baylor in 2021 from being undefeated national champions that year. He has done amazing work. He can get recruits. He can get transfer portal talent to come to Gonzaga. I think that he is staying there. So now we get to my next two candidates and my last two candidates, and I believe that the next Kentucky head coach will be between one of these two coaches, and that is Bruce Pearl from Auburn and Billy Donovan, the current head coach of the Chicago Bulls, former head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and former head coach, most importantly, of the Florida Gators when they won back-to-back national championships. Now, Billy Donovan would be such an insane hire for him to come back to college ball, to a job like this, coming back to the SEC, I think would be amazing. I would personally love to see it. Now, Billy Donovan wanted to go to the NBA after winning back-to-back NCAA tournament championships. He has decided, he wants to try to coach in the NBA, try to win the big one in the pros. And, I don't blame him. That's what he wanted to do. So far, it hasn't worked out for him. He's in his fourth season as the head coach of the Chicago Bulls now. They have a negative record. They're not doing too hot. I think Billy Donovan, could be on the hot seat for the Chicago Bulls. And I think, it could be a mutual agreement between him, the general manager, owner of the Chicago Bulls, and he could be out of there looking for a new job. The Kentucky job is right there. One of the best jobs in college basketball, with his name on it, with a buttload of money. I think Billy Donovan is definitely one of the leading candidates. Other top candidate is Bruce Pearl. Now, Bruce Pearl is a guy that, whenever I see him, I just think Auburn. Just like with Scott Drew, I think Baylor. With Mark Few, I think Gonzaga. I don't know if he's going to leave Auburn, but of all the current college coaches that we've talked about, not counting Billy Donovan, who's currently in the NBA coaching, actually has the most likely chance of leaving their current team to take the Kentucky job is Bruce Pearl. He has taken Auburn to the Final Four. He has done great things for that program. They are consistently competing. I just don't know if Kentucky necessarily wants him. I think if they can't get Billy Donovan, Bruce Pearl definitely could be an option. He could take that money. But again, I just have a hard time seeing him actually leaving Auburn. For Auburn fans, that would be a tough pill to swallow. But ultimately, my prediction, I think Billy Donovan is going to be the next head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. I think it makes a lot of sense for not only Kentucky, but also for Billy Donovan. I think, returning to college would be an awesome, awesome thing for Donovan to do in his career, and to come to a program like Kentucky where he can recruit again, bring in the top talent, coach the top talent, help them get to the NBA, but also compete for national championships. I think it makes a lot of sense. my prediction, Billy Donovan. Before I was going to make this video, an hour before I started recording, Nate Oates came out and said he's not coming. I was going to say Nate Oates was going to be my prediction, just led Alabama to the Final Four, but I think he's staying at Alabama like he says he is. Billy Donovan is my prediction for the next head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. Now I want to know down below in the comment section, Kentucky fans, would you be happy with a Billy Donovan hire? I think you have to be. I mean, come on. He won 2 national championships with the Florida Gators, and returning to college to one of the most prestigious jobs in the country, you got to be happy with that. He's going to do great things. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you guys think. If you don't think it's Billy Donovan, who do you think it's going to be for Kentucky fans or just any college basketball fans out there? Let me know who you guys think it's going to be. And yeah, guys, crazy news. What an insane coaching carousel that happened that all started with SMU basketball. This is why I love the sport. Let me know what you guys think about all this madness. And yeah, guys, subscribe if you guys aren't new. Thank you so much for watching.